Hello everyone, especially all the parents watching this video. Becoming a parent is a truly special journey, right? It's both sacred and wonderful, but it's also not without its challenges, fatigue, and even moments of helplessness. Who among us, when starting out as parents, didn't dream of a happy family, where the sound of children's laughter fills the house, where we are the heroes in our children's eyes? But what is the reality? Parenting doesn't come with a standard manual. We enter this role almost entirely by trial and error. And through this process, mistakes, shortcomings, and clumsiness are inevitable, even though we love our children deeply. Sometimes in the hustle and bustle of life, work, money, social pressures, and even the wounds from our own past, we forget that we too are just human beings. A father, a mother, struggling to do our best in a role that is too complex to navigate easily. Have you ever asked yourself, am I doing this right? Or, why doesn't my child understand me? Why is the relationship between us drifting apart? And then, we unintentionally place pressure on ourselves, that as parents we must always be right, always strong, always the emotional support for our children. We can't be sad, we can't lose our temper, we can't make mistakes. But the truth is, nobody is perfect. We can start by acknowledging, both to ourselves and to our children, that we are not perfect. We have strengths, but also weaknesses. There are things we can do and things we haven't done yet. That doesn't make us bad parents. On the contrary, it makes us more real and more able to connect with our kids. Imagine if one day you sat down and told your child, Mom, Dad makes mistakes too. It wouldn't make your child look down on you. On the contrary, it would bring you closer, make them appreciate and understand that the relationship is based on sincerity, not imposition. The parent-child relationship, if not properly nurtured, will weaken just like an unstable internet connection. On the outside, it may still seem connected, but inside, the bond is fragile and can break at any moment. So, if you feel something is off, something feels loose in the relationship with your child, then take the initiative to speak up before it's too late. It could be a simple meeting, an afternoon on the weekend, a cup of tea, a familiar cafe, or just sitting in the living room at home. But it's a moment to really listen to each other. Maybe it's been a long time since you and your child had a real conversation. You only ask, have you eaten yet? Did you finish your homework? What did you study today? But no one really sits down and asks, how are you feeling? Or how is our relationship? Do you think it's okay? We often think, they're just kids, they don't know anything. But actually our children understand and feel a lot more than we think. They have their own egos, their own desires, and their own pains, which if not expressed properly can build up and explode over time. And the scariest thing is, if those hurts come from their parents, the people they should feel safest with, they will distance themselves. They'll drift away from the family, they'll lose the connection, and they may go down paths that we never imagined, paths that could harm both themselves and society. So, why not actively refresh that relationship? A refreshing session doesn't need to be anything complicated. Just a little quiet space, a few moments to share, and words from the heart. You can start with something simple but meaningful. Thank you for being in my life. It may sound cliché, but really, without your child, how would we ever experience the feeling of becoming a parent? Without them, we wouldn't have those quiet moments, watching them sleep and smiling in happiness. We wouldn't hear their innocent, sweet words that make us laugh and feel joyful. Children are not just a responsibility, they are a gift that helps us grow up every day. Because of them, we learn to control ourselves, to sacrifice, to put others before ourselves. And when we look deeply, we see that children are the mirror that reflects back to us. Have you ever noticed that sometimes your child says something incredibly profound, right at the moment when you needed to hear it, reminding you to slow down and live according to your true values? That's when the purity of a child touches the deepest, most honest part of you. That's why we need to pause, not to complain, but to say thank you, and maybe even apologize. Apologize for being impatient, for not listening enough, for missing the precious moments because we were caught up in work or other things that seemed more important at the time. Apologize for not always being present for them, for not listening to their needs. No parent ever intentionally hurts their child. But in those moments, when we let our emotions take over or when we feel overwhelmed, we may unintentionally harm them. After all, no parent ever wants to hurt their own child. And yet, in those moments, when we unintentionally cause pain, we suffer too. The hurt we cause to our children doesn't just affect them, it affects us deeply as well. We feel the pain of knowing that we've hurt someone we love so much. It's painful to realize that we didn't fulfill our role as a parent, which is to be a stable pillar in our children's lives. Parents long to be that unwavering source of support, that place of refuge for their kids, but sometimes we fall short. And when that happens, we feel like we've failed and we suffer alongside our children. But here's the thing, failure is part of the process. No one gets it right all the time. Parenting is a continuous journey of growth and learning, and we have to accept that it's okay not to be perfect. What matters most is how we bounce back from our mistakes, how we own up to our shortcomings, and how we move forward to do better next time. This is a lesson we need to teach our children as well. It's okay to make mistakes as long as we learn from them and don't repeat them. We need to show them that failing is not the end of the world, but an opportunity to grow stronger and wiser. In fact, we need to demonstrate to our children that resilience is one of the most important qualities they can develop. Life will throw challenges at them, just like it does at us. But if we teach them how to rise above these challenges, how to face difficulties head-on with a positive attitude, we'll be preparing them for the future in the best way possible. That's why when we mess up, we need to show our children that we can admit our faults, apologize, and try again. This is how they will learn to do the same when they make mistakes. And by doing so, we help them build their own emotional strength, their ability to persevere, and their confidence that they can handle whatever life throws at them. And let's face it, parenting isn't easy. It's full of ups and downs, and sometimes it can feel overwhelming. But even in those tough moments when we feel like we're failing, we need to remind ourselves that we are doing the best we can. We're not perfect, but we're present. We're trying, and that's what matters most. Now, we also need to be aware of something really important. Sometimes, without realizing it, we may unintentionally suppress our children's individuality. As parents, we have a natural instinct to guide our children, to show them the right way to live. But we need to remember that they are not extensions of ourselves. They are individuals with their own thoughts, desires, and dreams. And here's where the balance comes in. We can still guide them, still show them the right path, but we must also give them the freedom to make their own choices and experience life in their own way. This is critical because over-controlling or imposing our will too strongly can lead to resentment or a lack of self-confidence in our children. It's a delicate dance between guiding and respecting. We need to let our children have their own space to explore, make mistakes, and discover who they really are. And that means sometimes we have to step back and let them find their own way, even if it's not the way we would have chosen. This is one of the most difficult things for parents to understand. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means trusting that our children are capable of navigating the world on their own, even if they don't always follow our instructions perfectly. At the same time, we can provide them with the tools, the guidance, and the love they need to make the right choices. But the key is to do this with love, not control. We need to trust that they will learn from their mistakes and that the love we've shown them will guide them when they're faced with challenges. In those moments when you feel uncertain about whether you're doing the right thing, remember this: you are enough. Just by being there for your children, by showing up with love, patience, and understanding, you are doing a great job. Parenting is not about being perfect. It's about being present, being supportive, and being willing to learn and grow alongside your child. And even in those times when you feel like you're not enough or like you've made mistakes, remind yourself, you are doing the best you can, and that's all that matters. But here's where things get tricky, because parenting isn't just about what we do for our children. It's also about how we are with them. We can buy them things, provide for them, make sure they have everything they need. But if we don't truly connect with them, if we don't build that emotional bond, then we are missing out on something vital. We need to spend quality time with our children, not just be physically present, but emotionally available too. This is what creates a strong bond, what builds trust, and what makes a child feel safe and loved. It's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day of life, work, chores, responsibilities, but we must remember that time with our children is precious. These moments don't come back. The conversations, the laughter, the shared experiences, those are the things that will stay with our children for a lifetime. So take a moment, slow down, sit with your child, talk with them, and make sure they feel heard, understood, and loved. Don't wait until tomorrow to do it, because we never know how much time we really have. And finally, when we think about the long-term picture, it's important to reflect on the values we are instilling in our children. The love, respect, and trust we build with them now will shape the kind of adults they become. But more than that, it will influence the kind of relationships they have with others, their confidence, and their ability to handle life's challenges. It's easy to get caught up in what's going wrong in our parenting, the moments when we've snapped at our kids or missed an important event in their life. But let's not forget to also look at what we've done right. Every time we choose love over frustration, every time we stop to listen, every time we admit our mistakes and apologize, we are teaching our children valuable lessons. We are showing them that relationships are built on trust and that it's okay to be vulnerable. We are teaching them that we don't have to be perfect, but we have to try. That's the most important lesson we can give them. Trying matters, and trying doesn't mean being flawless. It means being committed to growth and improvement. Parenting isn't about getting it right all the time. It's about being consistent in our efforts to show love, to guide, and to listen. It's about being the kind of parent who isn't afraid to show their flaws and imperfections because we understand that perfection is not the goal. The goal is to be the best we can be for ourselves and for our children. And when our children see us working on ourselves, learning from our mistakes and being open about our weaknesses, they learn the same thing. They learn that they don't have to hide their struggles or fear their failures. They learn that life is a journey of growth. Remember, the goal is not to create perfect children. It's to create resilient, compassionate, confident individuals who can navigate the ups and downs of life with grace and perseverance. And that starts with the example we set as parents. So, if you're ever feeling unsure or overwhelmed, just take a deep breath and remind yourself, you are enough. You are doing the best you can, and that's all your children need from you. They don't need perfection. They need your presence, your love, and your support. Don't let guilt or doubt overwhelm you. You are allowed to make mistakes, to grow, and to learn alongside your child. Parenting is a shared journey. It's about growing together. And as long as you're showing up with love, patience, and understanding, you are doing an amazing job. Let's remember, parenting is not a one-way street. It's a partnership between us and our children. They teach us just as much as we teach them. And the more we invest in understanding them, the more they will understand us. So let's make a commitment, not just to our children, but to ourselves. Let's commit to being the best versions of ourselves for our families. Let's commit to listening more, understanding more, and loving more. Because when we do that, we create a home full of love, understanding, and support. And that's the foundation for everything else. As we go forward, let's promise to always stay connected with our children, to give them the tools to succeed, and to remind them that they are loved unconditionally, that no matter what happens in life, they can always count on us. Thank you, dear children, for everything you have brought into our lives, for the joy, the love, and the lessons. And thank you for allowing us to walk this journey with you. Our love for you is limitless, and we will always be here for you, to guide you, support you, and love you, now and always. Thank you for following along with this journey. Remember, parenting isn't about perfection. It's about showing up, loving deeply, and being present. No matter what challenges come your way, you are enough. Keep growing, keep loving, and keep supporting your children. Together, you will create a beautiful future.